Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss Star Wars Rebels. This was a 4-season TV show from 2014 to 2018, respectively. 15 years after the end of Revenge of the Sith and Star Wars Clone Wars, we have this story. So this story focuses around Ezra Bridger and the team of the Ghost. They're all referenced as Spectres, Spectre 1 through 6, respectively. You have Harrison Dula, you have Kanan Jarrus, you have Sabine Wren, you have Zeb, whose name I can never remember. You have Ezra, you have Chopper. This show is one of the best things I've ever seen, and I don't say this lightly, because I've seen a crap ton of things. This is one of the greatest shows I've ever seen, one of the greatest stories ever written. This had a lot of Avatar Last Airbender, Avatar Legend of Korra vibes to it when it comes to character development, story arc, the way the story proceeds, backgrounds, future projections, things of that nature. I'm blown away. I know I praised Rebels within my review of Star Wars Clone Wars and said that this is the far superior show compared to Clone Wars, and I know I'm going to get flack for it, but this is the better of the two shows. I haven't seen Star Wars Resistance yet. I know it's in between episodes 7 through 9, but the ending of Rebels happens as an epilogue after episode 6, which is incredible because it takes place right after the Battle of Endor. So it's referenced that Hera and Rex fought at the Battle of Endor, which we see in episode 6, and then this is Sabine's going on a little epilogue about what's happening and things of that nature. So how does Ezra come in contact with the Ghost? How does Ezra come in contact with the other Spectres? So Ezra Bridger is 15 years old. He was born on Empire Day, 15 years after the Empire fell, after his parents were killed. Well, his parents have been killed by the Empire on the planet Lothal. So this story, the 4 seasons, basically takes place around Lothal, trying to liberate Lothal from the Empire. Grand Admiral Thrawn is brought into the mix. Different aspects of the Empire, Emperor Palpatine, who's also Darth Sidious, is brought into the mix. The Jedi Temple on Lothal is a big part. Loth cats, Loth wolves, Loth rats are referenced. There's Loth bats. A lot of Force aspects are brought into Lothal, and the story mainly takes place within Lothal. Yes, the group of Ghost crew goes off of Lothal to help rebels here and help rebels there and do this and do that. They meet the Purrgil, which are these like space squid whales who are very in tune to the Force and can hyper jump through space, hyperspace. There you go, hyperspace jump. So, man, this is so hard to talk about. Like, I got very emotional watching this show many times. I laughed often. Taylor Gray is the voice of Ezra Bridger, who I thought was Ryan Potter originally, who voices Hiro Hamada in Big Hero 6, but he's not. So, also, Zachary Gordon plays the character of Mart in this show. He's only in like 3 episodes, but Mart is a very important character at the end finale. So shout out to Zachary Gordon, the awesome wimpy kid that he is. So Ezra Bridger meets the Ghost crew on Lothal after he's trying to steal something from the Empire, just as at the same point that the Ghost crew is trying to steal something from the Empire. Kanan Jarrus was a Padawan during the Clone Wars, and his master was killed because of executing Order 66. There you go. I was trying to say that. So he has grown up post-Republic, which is now Empire, and there's no more Separatist. So it's a matter of what clones survived. If they survived, do they still want to kill Jedi? What Jedi survived? Is the Jedi still a thing? Is the Sith still a thing? Yes, the Sith is still a thing because Darth Vader is prevalent within the aspect of his master, Darth Sidious. So Ezra is trying to figure out who he is, who he wants to be. He's he's a scoundrel. He's a sarcastic and snarky scoundrel. He's a snarkastic scoundrel who gets thrown in the mix of a Jedi because he knows how to wield the Force. He finds a Jedi holocron aboard the Ghost ship, which is Kanan Jarrus's holocron of Obi-Wan Kenobi saying, Executive Order 66 has happened, try to be safe, things of that nature. It's a 15-year-old holocron, so it's a little bit damaged, but only a Jedi can open it. He opened it. He then starts to train with Kanan, but he doesn't really want to be a Jedi, and then eventually thrown into the mix with Hondo Ohnaka, who is one of the greatest characters ever, the awesome pirate that he is. And then, Ezra's learning differences about piratism, learning differences within Jedi, within Force wielding through the Sith. Maul is brought back into this as well. Maul is at a Sith temple where he's trying to get a Sith holocron to then have Ezra, who he then claims is his apprentice, because Ezra did help Maul get to the Sith holocron for information to defeat the Empire, but Maul wants information as to where Obi-Wan Kenobi is so he can finally face his arch nemesis and kill him. So within that battle, Ahsoka Tano is brought into the mix. Ahsoka Tano is having a face-off with Darth Vader when she realizes that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker and she can't bring her master back. That's another big thing, but the last time we see her was in the temple until the very end of the show. Maul and Ezra get the Sith holocron. They open it. Then they have a farewell after Maul tries to kill everybody, but that's just Maul. He just tries to get what he wants. He has no affiliation with Sith anymore, nor Jedi. He just is a Force wielder. He needs the Sith holocron in order to get the information. But Kanan, Ezra, and Sabine come across the Darksaber, which I have to my right, your left. So we get more of the Darksaber. We know that Lar Vizsla is the only Jedi Mandalorian that created the Darksaber, which then went to Pre Vizsla after he raided the temple, which then went to Maul after Maul defeated Pre Vizsla on Mandalore. Maul was the leader of Mandalore for quite some time, and then he just went to the Sith temple to try to get the Sith holocron, leaving the Darksaber basically there. Kanan Jarrus fought Maul, was blinded, but he did wind up with the Darksaber for a very brief moment in time. Ezra had it for a brief moment in time, technically, and then Sabine Wren was a wielder of it until she then gave it to Bo-Katan to then rule Mandalore. But Bo-Katan didn't technically fight Sabine Wren for the Darksaber, so she just accepted it as the leader. But we don't know how Moff Gideon got the Darksaber from Bo-Katan within The Mandalorian, the TV show on Disney+. And then why, if Bo-Katan received the Darksaber from Sabine Wren without actually fighting her, why she can't just receive the Darksaber from the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, if Sabine just gave Bo-Katan the Darksaber and she accepted it, why can't Mando just give Bo-Katan the Darksaber and accept it again? I don't know. It's a little wonky, but maybe we'll see within Season 3 of Mando or Season 1 of Ahsoka. So how then, what's the premise, right? The premise is still to free Lothal. Ezra wants to know how to save Lothal, save his people. He already lost his parents. He doesn't want to lose his home planet, his people. He knows how to wield the Force, right? So he's learning how to wield the Force through the different animals of Lothal. Loth wolves are very, very prevalent within this, of him, coming to terms with all this. So Ezra Bridger, trained by a Jedi, trained by a Sith, trained by a pirate, trained by a Mandalorian, Sabine Wren, and trained by a pilot, Hera Syndulla, right? He is the ultimate Force wielder. I don't care what anyone says. Ezra Bridger is the ultimate Force wielder. To the hell with the chosen one of Anakin Skywalker becoming Darth Vader. In the process, creating Leia and Luke, respectively, with Padme, who unfortunately passed away. But I think that's important, why this epilogue was important as well. After the Battle of Endor that Hera and Rex were a part of. Where did Rex come from? Rex, Wolf, and Cooper, I think? Was that his name? 3 retired clone troopers, who were on a planet trying to live out their retired days, but Ahsoka Tano is now working with the rebellion, or she was trying to work with the rebellion to then free, people from the Empire, but she's still in contact with Rex, and Rex and Ahsoka obviously go way back. So it was cool having Rex and past clone troopers come into the fray for the rebellion, fighting battle droids that were still active from the Clone Wars that haven't deactivated yet. That was a pretty cool battle, with them all working together to defeat the Empire, because the Republic became the Empire, and the Separatists were always charged with, the Separatist droids were charged with defeating the Republic, but the Republic became the Empire, so obviously the Separatist droids that are still prevalent have to defeat the Empire because that's in their protocol. Pretty cool. I like that twist. Ahsoka Tano facing off Darth Vader within the Sith Temple. We don't see her again until many, many episodes later. Ezra Bridger discovers a way, with the help of Sabine Wren, to open the portal within the Jedi Temple that's on Lothal that the Empire is trying to control. Grand Admiral Thrawn is brought into this. We get him by name in Mandalorian Season 2 with Ahsoka Tano saying, "Where's Grand Admiral Thrawn?" And you're like, holy shit. But people who don't watch Rebels don't really know the significance that the last time we see Grand Admiral Thrawn is with Ezra Bridger upon an Imperial destroyer being taken away into hyperspace with the Purrgil. Scandal, right? Ezra makes that sacrifice. Mart is the only one who actually knows to get the Purrgil. Cool. I like that Zachary Gordon's Mart is a big part of that as well. So Ahsoka Tano is saved by Ezra Bridger when he is in this Force portal, because it's a place between space and time. He can alter the future, he can change the past. So he saves Ahsoka from Darth Vader before the temple collapses, the Sith temple collapses after Maul had escaped, right? That's why we haven't seen her since then, because she was stuck with Ezra in that space-time before she then escaped, before he escaped. He had her escape, there you go, after they both faced off Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine, within that space-time portal to begin with as well, within Lothal. So we get those father, daughter, son Force wielders, again, the original Force wielders, the gods that they are. Her as an owl, Moray, I can't remember her name, but she's a friend of Ahsoka Tano's. Ahsoka's a little bit grown up now. Obviously, it's been 15 years since the end of Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith. So it's a matter of, what is Ezra going to do? Is Ezra going to change the past by just keeping his parents alive, taking Emperor Palpatine's, offer, and going to change the past to just keep his parents alive, and then that's it, his friends are going to die? Is he going to try to save Kanan, but in the process have the rest of his ghost family killed because of not allowing Kanan to have his sacrifice on Lothal? Kanan, voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr., by the way, incredible Jedi that he is, but did hold Ezra back quite a few times. Gave him a lot of lessons, but did hold Ezra back quite a few times. It was important that Ezra worked with Maul. It was important that Ezra worked with Hondo. It's important that Ezra worked with Sabine. It's important that Ezra worked with Zeb. It's important that Ezra worked with Chopper, voiced by Dave Filoni, one of the best astromech droids. Hysterical. Far better than R2-D2. I said it, you can quote me. And it's important that Ezra worked with Harrison Dula as well to get this wide, and the Lothwolves, to get a whole full picture of the Force. Ezra is extremely powerful with the Force at such a young age. What? I don't know, 17? Let's say like 2 years transpired within this 4-season bit, minus the epilogue about past Battle of Endor. So what then happens? What then continues? Ahsoka is trying to now find Ezra with Sabine Wren and find Grand Admiral Thrawn, because it's time to bring Ezra home. That's what Sabine says. Sabine gives us that epilogue. She says that Jason Syndulla is riding with his mom, Harrison Dula, Jason Syndulla is the son of Kanan and Hera, Chops with them as well. Zeb and one of the ex-Imperials who they saved is going to, I forgot the name of it, Lin something. Lansun? I don't remember. Remember I said there's so much information, you're trying to absorb it all. But seeing that, his people, Lasat, are still kind of alive and prevalent, But Sabine and Ahsoka are now on a quest to go find Ezra, to bring him home, to make sure that he's okay, not knowing really if Admiral Thrawn is still alive or prevalent. But we get that in Mandalorian Season 2, and Ahsoka literally screams out, "Tell me where Grand Admiral Thrawn is. Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?" So that tells us that Ezra Bridger is still out there, and Grand Admiral Thrawn is still out there. So they both survived the hyperspace travel with the Purrgils on that Star Destroyer after the Battle of Lothal, came to an end. So the question then is, will we get a live-action Ezra Bridger and Grand Admiral Thrawn within the Star Wars universe, specifically in the Ahsoka Tano TV show? I think yes, and I think that the Ahsoka Tano TV show is going to be way more prevalent within the Star Wars canon lineup than Mandalorian is. And I know that sounds scandalous to say because I'm a massive fan of Mandalorian, especially the little Grogu. But when you bring into effect the important story arc of Ahsoka and Sabine going to find Ezra, and then we know that Ahsoka, live action Ahsoka, played by Rosario Dawson, is trying to find Grand Admiral Thrawn, that means Ezra's still out there. So that also tells us that Sabine is still out there. So, do we get a live action Sabine Wren as well? This is going to be incredible. If Sabine Wren, Ezra Bridger, and Grand Admiral Thrawn are brought into effect into live action in the Ahsoka TV show, I'm going to lose my mind. Lose my mind. I am embarrassed that I did not watch the Clone Wars TV show back when it came out, way back when. I'm embarrassed that I did not watch Rebels when it first aired in 2014 up until 2018. But I'm happy that I'm now caught up. I'm happy that I binged Clone Wars and Rebels respectively, because it's all the same story, and Rebels ends after episode 6. What is that? Return of the Jedi? Yeah. Specifically mentioning that Hera and Rex fought in the Battle of Endor, which is a massive battle, and that's what saved the Empire. That's what saved the rebellion from the Empire. That's when the Empire fell. And then that's when Mandalorian picks up, and that's obviously when Ahsoka and Sabine go on their quest. So, I've stated numerous times, I'm not a fan of the Jedi. They're peacekeepers, but they're warmongers. And it's referenced within Clone Wars a bunch of times. And this is why the Empire rose up after executing Order 66 to wipe out the Jedi, but the lucky ones survived. So it's now a matter of looking at what Maul's perspective was, right? Maul wanted that holocron, the Sith holocron, met with the Jedi holocron with the help of his apprentice Ezra Bridger to form them together to get the knowledge that they needed to know. How is Ezra going to defeat the Empire? We found out how. We found out how the Empire was destroyed, but still, where is Ezra Bridger? And then where is Obi-Wan Kenobi in regards to Maul? So when Maul goes to Tatooine to face Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then Obi-Wan Kenobi kills Maul, Maul is very content in knowing that Obi-Wan was protecting the Chosen One, who is prophesied to defeat the Empire. Because Maul wants nothing more to do with the Empire. He is done with the Empire. And that's important. It's important as a Force wielder, knowing that Maul wants nothing to do with the Empire anymore. He wants nothing to do with the Sith. He just wants it to stop. He's done. He's tired. He's earned it. He's earned the rest. And that's why it was a very short lightsaber battle between the two of them, but he's content. Technically, Obi-Wan is not really protecting the Chosen One, since Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker, and that's that. He's really protecting Luke Skywalker, who he believes can, help liberate the rebellion to defeat the Empire, which kind of happens because the only reason Darth Vader then turns on Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine, is because he sees his son Luke in pain and destruction. That's why he takes Emperor Palpatine, throws him down through the what is that? That massive tunnel, bridge, something, port? I don't know. Shaft. There you go. Within Return of the Jedi. So everything culminates after Episode 6, after Rebels. I'm going to say it's the same timeline as Mandalorian as well, because that's all after, the Empire is done and everybody's celebrating. So to have this story be very linear, revolving around the fall, I think is pretty smart, because Clone Wars had beautiful 4 or 5 episode arcs of story, but it was at different worlds. It was all over the galaxy, all over the place. This was important because it was just one crew doing one mission constantly. They went to Mandalore, helped Bo-Katan. Yes, they went here. Yes, they went there. Yes, they went to the Purgle. But it started on the fall and it ended on the fall. That was smart. The way this was written reminded me a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender and Avatar: Legend of Korra. Just the way that the story progressed, the way that the character development happened, Ezra Bridger's character development and character arc, gorgeous. Maul's character development and character arc, gorgeous. Hondo Ohnaka is still one of my favorite characters, but to be honest, Ezra Bridger is the greatest Star Wars character. There's no getting around that. Hands down, without a doubt. I think it's going to be interesting going forward with Mandalorian, seeing how that works. Going forward with Ahsoka's TV show, seeing how that works. But I'm also very curious about what is it called? There's a TV show that's going to be happening again within the Rebellion, live action, before Rogue One. What was his name? Something with an A? Andor? Was it Andor? I don't remember. But that's going to be another fun live action show. Something else I wanted to say. What was it? I don't remember. There's so much information just gathered up in the mind. It might come to me. It might not. But I think we've said enough. I think we've gone over enough. Oh, I remember. Okay. Ezra Bridger. This show felt more realistic. I know it's a cartoon. I'm well aware that it's in a fictional universe in a galaxy far, far away, and a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Ezra Bridger was kind of sleepwalking at one point on the Ghost, and he had like pajamas on, and he was barefoot walking around the spaceship. And I thought that was very important within the story of the context of grounding this character of Ezra Bridger, because it was realistic, you know? Like, he's sleeping. He doesn't want socks on when he's sleeping. So if he's having these weird dreams about holocrons and Maul, he's going to explore barefoot because he's kind of sleeping. That was real. You didn't really see like, oh, Jedi toes. Like, how is that realistic portrayal? It's real because it's grounded. It shows true grounding of a character. Like, he's not going to put shoes on to go explore, this little area where he's sleeping. He's sleeping. So, like, he's just going to get up quick, go take a look, see what's up, and then go back to bed. It was I know it's so strange to say Ezra Bridger being barefoot is one of the most important parts of this show, but it was because it kept it grounded. It kept the characters more realistic in the sense of authenticity towards growth, towards relatability. I think that's what's important too. Like, I don't know. It was just something I noticed. Yeah. What is everyone's thoughts? I know I talked a while, but it was important to document this. This is a very important TV show. Very important TV show. I wish it got more accolades than it did, and I wish it got a lot more respect than it has. But there's a lot of important characters and stories specifically because of this show. Star Wars Rebels, Disney Plus. If you have not seen all of it or need a refresher, go watch it, because we need to make sure we're up to date for Mandalorian Season 3, Ahsoka Season 1, and all of the other future Star Wars shows, especially Bad Batch. Well, Bad Batch was really more on the Clone Wars front, but I'm excited to see what Bad Batch is going to be about as well. And to that, we say, may the Force be with you. Mucho mahalo.